Hello class, my name is McKenna Maylert. I'm a senior in high school and a Running Start student. This past year, most of my attention has gone into deciding my next steps and figuring out all my college options. I've always heard that college is so expensive, but it wasn't until this year that it truly clicked and I understood how much the cost of college really impacts people and their decisions. This is why I decided to do my project on the expense of college and what the news is saying about the worth of higher education and what they're leaving out. So, why this topic is interesting to me? For many people, college is the most major stepping stone that sets them on a path for the rest of their lives. College is not a one-step process. It can take you many different directions, including community college, technical or vocational schools, but nowadays most professions require a degree. This topic interests me because college is meant to weed out the people who really want the job, who really want the career, from the people that just don't have what it takes. Money should never be the obstacle that keeps, say, an amazing, bright young student who wants to go to college and has these goals versus a richer, more privileged student who just wants the college experience and they get to go instead. Post-secondary education is one of the most Post-secondary education is one of the most important and complex decisions a person can make in their young lives, yet also one of the most consequential if not done correctly. Students can easily make the mistake of throwing away thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, and going into debt. Some background on this topic and issue. So inflation has affected the cost of housing, medical care, child services, everything to great heights. But none, and as you can see in many of these graphs, none have risen faster and higher than the cost of tuition. Colleges use a sticker price to give an estimate of tuition costs, but they do not include financial aid or other scholarships. Even with help, the net price of the average public four-year college has more than doubled in the last 20 years. Some tests run by OECD's Program for the International Assessment of Adult Competencies showed that Americans with a bachelor's degree under the age of 40 performed below their similarly educated peers in 14 other countries on the test of just practical math skills. That means compared to 14 other countries, people with, who went to college, we didn't score well at all. And it was proven that we were also average in all the other subjects. So that means college is mostly for for future financial value rather than academic value. The financial value is shown in the fact that Americans with college degrees earn 75% more than those who only earn their high school diploma. And that's a big jump in salaries. A degree means better jobs, more opportunities, a higher chance in competition for a job. So if they're competing with someone who has less education, they're more likely to get the job, and overall more money. In the US, people with at least a bachelor's degree can earn more than $500,000 more than people with no college degree, and that's just in salary. No other country in the world rewards a college degree as richly as the United States, but the same is true in the opposite effect, and which kind of sucks, is that no other countries punish people so relentlessly for not having one. That means the effects of having one and not having one are much greater here in America than anywhere else. So it's mostly very important that we get one here. Tuition expense and its inflation is a never-ending and absolutely dreadful cycle. It's been going on for many, many years. Basically, what happens is that colleges want the best, brightest, best teachers, the smartest teachers, and so they're awarded the positions at the college, and because they're better than other colleges, their salaries are higher, and that makes the college degree more valuable. It makes college so we are paying, the students are paying for their teachers' salaries, and citizens who want higher education believe it's worth it because of the smarter teachers, and then will pay almost anything to get it, and that allows colleges to up their prices. So 70 years ago, college was viewed as something only for the wealthy, elite people in society. It was just simply out of reach for the average person. They would, work for their family business, and that was pretty much it. Um, but after World War II, everything changed. There was an act in 1944 called the GI Bill of Rights, and it was set in motion right then. And so then after the act, in about the 60s and 70s, universities reached into their own cookie jar in order to help students pay for college. So they were reaching into their own pockets, paying students to come to their school. They provided many different kinds of financial aids and grants, and because of this new federal program. It became an enormous success, bringing in over 8 million new students, not including the students they already had, but 8 million more. That's a lot of people. This sudden and immense demand very well could have caused a skyrocket in college prices, but the states chose to instead embrace the idea. They wanted more people to come to school. So the war caused the economy to boom and flourish. Universities and other forms of education were also able to flourish and expand without hurting the bank because of all of this. Back then, especially in the 70s, everybody pretty much knows everything was much cheaper. Food, medicine, rent, all of it. It was absolutely doable for the average person to work a job earning only minimum wage that allowed you time for school, and yet still have a life and also be able to do all your homework, everything, and pay completely for your tuition. So that means in minimum wage in 1975 was 210. Translating in today's money, that's equal to 925. And by doing the math, you can figure out that a student would only need to work a mere 17 hours a week on that salary to pay off tuition. But in 2015, the minimum wage was 725, and the average tuition cost was close to 20,000. And that means a student would have to work roughly 54 hours a week to pay that off, and that's just impossible. Almost impossible. And it also doesn't make sense because we don't have the college experience or degree, we can't get higher paying jobs, and that allows us to work more in order to pay it off, in order to make more money. But you need the college degree to get more money. So current information. In current news, we see that in the past 40 years or so, the average price of college plus other expenses has more than doubled, even when taking inflation into account, and that's huge. Public four-year universities now list that on average, their total cost of schooling, including everything from room and board to meals, can be anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 a year. And then private colleges average out considerably higher at $40,000 per year. It was recently reported that from 2008 to 2018, every single state in America, all 50 states, increased their average tuition in all post-secondary schooling. According to a 2019 report, a study from Center on Budget and Policy Priorities found that public four-year universities increased by 37%, and net costs, increased by 37%, and the net cost that included factors like scholarships increased by 24%. Studies conducted by the College Board explored how the pandemic has affected tuition and college, and they found that in the 2020 to 2021 academic year, we had the lowest percentage increase in 3 whole decades. So we did not inflate our prices; it didn't go up. This is because of factors such as many not getting a full experience. They believe that online school was just not the same as having, in-person classes, and also the falling economy. An idea spread through the news that many colleges were trying a new approach to make up for the lost tuition revenue. To make up for it, they started expanding campus enrollment and getting a boost that way instead. So it was reported that Southern New Hampshire University, they said they were doing this, and they said they hope by 2025 they will be able to accept a whopping 45,000 students from its usual 3,000. And for a small school like that, it just, sorry, my Chromebook's gonna die. And for a small school like that, that's a big difference. They reported that because of their decision and announcement, the average number of applicants jumped to 18%. So they had a larger pool of people to pick from, and so they reported that their selectivity and value ranking shot up because they were able to pick better students and had a wider variety. The issue of the cost of college is trending now because of the pandemic. Within the struggling economy, schools closing down, online classes, and other factors, the discussion of what to do and why has become a hot topic in the news. So, some implications of discussion around the issue. Nowadays, when you turn on the news, there's rapid fire of new topics and issues of a wide variety. But it's not a surprise to come across a heated debate ragging on the value of college and the money spent on higher education in the United States. CBS News reported that just 39% of full-time students earn a bachelor's degree in 4 years. So even if they do end up going to college, only 39% actually get that degree, and then and then only 59% finish in 6 years. So it's just very low odds. The average person with a 4-year bachelor degree over their lifetime earns nearly 1 million more than someone who holds only a high school diploma or just an associate's degree. After listening to the news and hearing all the facts, it creates discussion and leaves many people wondering whether a bachelor's or any kind of degree for that matter, and spending 4 years of your life in college is still worth it, especially with the continuously rising cost of tuition and the shaky job market that awaits you when you're done. So basically, it's either money or, choosing what to do with your life. And we need to figure out a way to make college and higher education less expensive. That was my presentation. Thank you so much.